This first replay was submitted by Luke Boss. This is a Rubik replay. He's saying he's in a 5-stack as denoted by the fact that there's a title on one of the teams. Alright, so fast forwarding through this. The Wind Ranger first pick is very strong. It's a very versatile hero. You can play in many different roles. It's preferably a farming role, like a core, but it doesn't always have to be. Lich first pick is also quite strong. It's not a very strong hero because it doesn't do much, but it's very easy to play, very hard to mess up on Lich. So that's very safe. Also very versatile. You can play support, and worst comes to worst, you can actually play him as your offlane, and he survives by denying creeps. Lycan is Lion is a very strong pick. Lycan is not so much. I feel like Lycan's not a very strong hero right now because Bloodseeker is incredibly strong, and that hero destroys Lycan. Darkseid is a very strong pick. Weaver is an okay pick, but I would not play Weaver against Lion. Or Wind Ranger actually, because if Wind Ranger Shadowblade's up to you and shackles you, he can kill you within the shackle timing. Magnus versus this team is quite strong, especially with the Sven, because they all get up in your face heroes, and Magnus is very good against that. Rubik is just a generally, I don't know, Rubik is not the strongest support, but kind of like Lich, he's very hard to mess up, and he's very versatile. There's not many huge spells to take, but I mean, it's okay. Alright, so we come into the game, change that to free camera, put up the networks. Alright. So, I assume they bought Korea. That's why their networks are long. Let's see. So I'm expecting Wind Ranger mid. Like, if you're playing... Am I doing the replay for again? Oh, right, Rubik. So, Rubik is... Rubik is a hero that is very versatile, very he's always a good pick, but he's never a great pick unless the enemy has specific heroes, for example, Tidehunter and Enigma are the obvious ones. You can steal Wall of Replica here. You can steal Lion spells, which are pretty good except for Mana Drain. Stormbolt's very good to steal.
30 seconds.
Shackle and Power Shot are not too bad, but I think Rubik is fine. So Rubik bought. So Lich bought the Courier. So Rubik bought boots. Lich also bought the wards, I guess? Yeah, okay. So, I'm not sure if you should buy boots first on the Rubik. Usually your boots first supports are the ones that are gonna rotate a lot, roam a lot. But Rubik is not very strong roaming level 1, or level 2, because his stun doesn't do damage, and he doesn't really do much damage either. If you look at, for example, Wind Ranger, for example, this hero does... Why does he have no items? Okay, Wind Ranger usually does way more damage. Like, if Wind Ranger bought a, Null Talisman, he'd be at, 60, 65 damage, which is really, really good. Rubik, however, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of those boots first. The thing was, Lich was very sacrificial here. I think it's better. This guy should also level 3rd first, so he can deny creep. Since you have less creeps, the creeps will push towards you. Back to the Rubik. Okay, so you're playing against Darkseid. Darkseid is incredibly hard to lane against, especially for a Spectre. What I might actually do in this lane is I would buy... you know the Darkseid is off lane. I was talking about the lane setup. So you know that Wind Ranger is going to be mid. Lycan is... Actually, I didn't expect Lycan to jungle, because this hero does not jungle very fast. Especially level 1. It's incredibly slow, and you get hurt a lot. So if the enemy has a Bloodseeker or something, you're going to get destroyed. Or a Bounty Hunter who harasses you in jungle. So you get the Darkseid and you're playing Rubik here. You might want to buy an extra set of Tangos just so that you can share with the Spectre. This guy will take a lot of damage in this lane, and Darkseid always gets farmed. The strength of Darkseid is quite similar to the strength of Clockwork, where he will always get something from the lane. For example, Darkseid will always get gold in the lane. He didn't double Iron Shell the creep camp though, so that's a mistake by the Darkseid, but I mean, whatever. When you're playing against a Clockwork or a Darkseer, you kind of have to accept that one of them, they will do really well in the lane. Darkseer is very good at getting gold in the lane. Clockwork is very good at getting experience, and vice versa. Usually you're able to zone out. You should be hitting this Darkseer all the time. Plus you have boots, so he should never be in melee range with you. This is a big misplay. Like, you should realize that you have move speed, so if he wants to surge at you, he has to use his mana. Also, level 1 surge will only get him up to you, and then once surge runs out, you can run away from him because you have boots of speed. If you like, if he surges and you are quick enough to use your lift on him, that's always a very strong value play because it's basically negating the surge. You need to be hitting them a lot more, and I don't think that's why I don't think you need boots first. Boots first is usually when you plan on roaming a lot, because, like, for example, if you're walking from here all the way to over here, and you were getting like top rune or something like that at the same time, you would literally get there faster, because you're walking this entire distance. Yeah. While you're just a lane support, because like the thing about Spectre is that Spectre needs a lane support. This hero is freaking garbage from levels 1 till he snowballs, whenever that is. Depending on the game. Like, if his team takes like 3 towers and he gets free farm, he can get big really fast, depending on his build. If he's planning on going like Boots Radiance or something like that, instead of like Boots Vanguard Diffusal, Manta, or Vanguard Manta, or whatever the other build is, you need more support. Like, you might need to try lane your Spectre. Spectre's not a very strong hero if you only have 1 support. The second thing is that the Darkseer is actually like kind of winning the game for them. Like, this guy is getting as much farm as like your mid hero without even trying. Alright, this is where you should lift him away from you and walk away so you don't get hit by Iron Shell. He still has some boots. Yeah, you should be fine. You need to make more distance. I like the concept there. What you tried to do was you walk away a bit because you're faster than him, and then you hit him with your thing. This guy should be able to just surge away. That's fine. If he had a soul ring, you guys would be in big trouble right now. He didn't bring a soul ring recipe though, so lucky for you guys. Spectre's getting phase boots. Yeah, that's fine. So you've pulled once? No, you haven't pulled at all. Like, when at 30 seconds into the game, you should be like standing here, scouting if this spawns or not. If this spawns, you should be pulling over and over again. Sometimes against Darkseer you aren't able to, but this guy has nothing right now, and you can click him. Like, if I was this Rubik, I would be clicking this guy and saying, oh, he has no soul ring, so he doesn't have unlimited mana. Well, unlimited mana. So since he doesn't have the mana capabilities to sustain his spells, he won't be able to Iron Shell that much. So you can add, like, the problem with Darkseer is that when the creeps get to here, he can Iron Shell, and then when the creeps meet up here, he can Iron Shell again. So on the first wave, there's 2 Iron Shells. Those 2 Iron Shells will pretty much obliterate your creep wave, and your carry as well if he like stands in it. So the Iron Shell will get him pretty much the first entire wave of gold, which is like 400, something like that? 200, sorry, I mean. 4 creeps is 200, roughly. No, it's more like 160, 170. And after he does that a second time, that's his soul ring. I don't like this dive here. This might get you the kill. A very good lift on the surge. This might get you the kill, but in general, I think... Actually, I think this is fine. The problem with doing this in most games, though, like, I would never go for this play, is because they have their tier 1 tower here. If the enemy line TP'd in, like, maybe you knew this guy was low, but because I wasn't watching the other lanes. Like, if you were playing the game, you'd be watching the other lanes. But this line, like, if he TP'd in here, that's a double kill, and you don't kill the Darkseer. So you have to be very, very careful when you're, like, diving like that. Like, it's very, like, unusual that you can read that they can't TP to their first tower to get a double kill. It's pretty amazing. Like, I don't know, maybe it's like a bracket thing, but in my games, there's no possibility in diving a tower that early. Except diving mid, you can usually dive mid. Let's see, Magnus vs Windrunner. This is just a spam war. Both builds are kind of weird, in my opinion. I don't like double Mango on Wind Ranger. I don't like any Mangos on Wind Ranger. The thing about Mango on Intel Heroes is that they have so much mana and their spells cost so much mana that a Mango pretty much doesn't do anything. Like, a Mango is like 1 power shot. I mean, that could be the clutch power shot, but then why wouldn't you just take a Clarity? Since you're ranged anyway, you should Shockwave there to cancel the regen. Oh well. Let's see. Yeah, so what I was talking about before, the double Iron Shell into the tower. When he double Iron Shells when the creeps are here, he will obliterate your creep wave, and then his creeps will push into your tower. That makes it incredibly hard for Spectre to, what do you call it, last hit, as well as the Iron Shell will destroy the Spectre, because, like, notice how he has no regen. If you bought extra set of Tangos at the start, you could just give them to Spectre and he'd be a lot better off right now. He also probably should have got, like, a Ring of Health and went into the Vanguard build in this game. Vanguard is slightly okay in this game, because Vanguard will, like, almost completely block the Lycan Wolves, as well as, like, Darkseid Illusions, stuff like that, as well as Focus Fire. Okay. I like his idea of hiding. I don't like where he's hiding though. Okay, well, it worked out. A good job at identifying he can use Quelling Blade. When someone dives like that, you have to be attentive to your lane. Let's see. In terms of skill build, I'll talk about skill build for Rubik. So, Rubik pretty much has one skill build. You get lift at 1, you max bolt, and you max lift whenever you can, and then you get ulti whenever you can. And then you level up Nullfield after that to, I think, level 2 is good, and then you leave it there. I'll talk about value points now, because it seems like this game is pretty slow. When you're playing any hero, and you're thinking about what spell to level up, if you hover over the spell, it tells you what it gives you, right? The way to read this is not just like, okay, 5, 10, 15, 20%. What you should actually be reading is 5% is a 5% increase, and then the 10% increase gives you like 100%, right? It gives you like double what the first point gave you. But then, after that, when you get the third point, it's only giving you half of what you already have, kind of thing. So that third point in Nullfield is actually not as valuable as the second point, if that makes sense. It's just a little thing, but sometimes it's better to get like 2 points in Nullfield and then get stats after that. You only get Nullfield after you've maxed out your other 2 spells, though. These 2 spells are like Rubik's bread and butter. So Spectre comes back, he has a Ring of Health now. I think he should have got the Ring of Health before Phase Boots. When I said Phase Boots were fine, it was because I was playing as if I had the extra Tangos for the Spectre, but he didn't, so yeah. He's got a stick. I don't like this too much. Stick is very good against Darkseid because of Iron Shell, but in general, like, your gold is very valuable on a carry such as Spectre. Like, you need to get that Vanguard as soon as you can so that your Reality Shift can, like, own people. I mean, your Haunt can own people. Let's see. What's the Rubik doing? So you've left the lane whenever the Darkseid's left. That's good. Let's see. When you steal Iron Shell, there's a little trick you can do where you can like stack a camp and then get a smoke. You Iron Shell yourself smoke and then you stand next to the creeps and your Iron Shell will destroy the creep, right? The creep. So you can get a lot of farm that way with Rubik. Or Darkseid, but like, you're not Darkseid, so yeah, okay, so good stack. This is slightly less efficient than the smoke play. See, smoke costs 100 gold, right? So you're like losing 100 gold. But the thing is, you would farm this like twice as fast, kind of thing. Because notice how the Iron Shell's not killing the creeps, like they're running back and forth and only sometimes hitting the creeps. Just keep that in mind, sometimes it's a good idea. In general, this is very good. Your mid hero left your lane, you're taking XP mid. This is a very strong support play. You got mana boots here. I think that's fine. You got the gold. So what, they're carried on? Okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh, he's going full stick. This is completely wrong. I understand the stick. I don't think you should get Magic Wand on Spectre. Because see, this gold could be his Vanguard already. Or his, like, Radiance or whatever. Like, more closer to his Radiance is what I'm trying to say. I don't like how much this Darkseid is getting in lane. Holy crap, is this what it's like playing this hero? Like, this Darkseid is gonna have, like, a mech pipe really, really fast if you guys don't deal with it. The way to deal with him is either to gank him twice, like, kill him and then he TPs back to lane, you kill him again, or you take down his tower. That's how you deal with the Darkseid here. Darkseid can still, like, Iron Shell the creep wave, but your Spectre will be strong enough to kill creep waves really fast. Spectre dives here, that's okay. Oh, they get out, very good. Okay, that worked out well. Spectre has his Vanguard now. So if Spectre goes Vanguard first, now he has to make the decision between Radiant. Very good. Oh, yeah, okay, very good. I was expecting that to be a really easy kill, but he still got a spell off somehow. So Spectre's got his Vanguard. He has to make the decision between Radiance, Manta, and Vanguard. Each one, Radiance, Manta, and Diffusal. So each one has its own, what do you call it, like pros and cons. For example, Diffusal is obviously very good against heroes that are like have things that are purgeable. For example, a Warlock, you can purge Malphus to one-shot it, so you would get Diffusal first. Stuff like that. If you have a hard counter, always go for that. Against Juggernaut, I would get the Manta, obviously, because the Manta will give you illusions, which can get rid of the what do you call it? The Omni Slash. Like it can tank Omni Slash for you. So that's very good. What's the other item I was talking about? Manta, Diffusal. Radiance. Oh right, Radiance. So Radiance is the I'm not fighting anyone item. So the thing about that is that when you're getting Radiance on Spectre, you're not trying to fight, you're trying to farm, and you're trying to farm a lot. Right? Because Radiance is a very expensive item. And you don't have much gold. Like, there's not much gold that's available to you since you don't really have any farming spell. Like, Dagger is not a farming spell. I mean, you can use it to farm, but, like, compare it to, like, Jug Crit or, like, Troll first spell and stuff like that. Like, this is, like, garbage. Like, compared to Lena's spell, yeah? Like, Lena farms way faster than Spectre. Spectre's, like, you have to think about what your hero is good about, and I should be focusing on the Rubik more. You have to think about what your hero is good about. And Spectre is good because he can always farm. He doesn't farm fast, but he can always farm because his ulti lets him counter fights. Alright, back to the Rubik. Oh, you got Earthspike, very good. When you steal a spell like Earthspike, you should buy a smoke, just like straight away. You buy a smoke and you pick the hero that has the most kill potential on your team. For example, either Lich or Magnus. Well, Magnus has obvious kill potential. The reason why Lich has high kill potential is because if he uses both spells on someone, that's like half their health at this point in the game. Lich is very, very strong early. Good counter ward there. You're saving for Blink, that's very good. I think if you you have two item builds on Rubik. You either have a Blink build or you have the straight Ags Rush. Ags Rush is against enemies with like lots of stuns basically. And the Blink build is for pretty much every other case, I think. You don't go Blink against teams you don't want to fight into. For example, Undying. You can't fight into an Undying early, so you don't get Blink first. You will get Ags first as well. This is worth the RP, but I don't feel like he needed the RP. I don't know. Okay, so that's good. After you on this, you should be pushing a tower. You want to make use of your time well. Your Spectre shouldn't be running here. Like, you see the enemy, but you should tell them, like, you should be pinging their top tower. They lost their Sven. You can push down this tower and they can't do anything about it. Zero and vacuum build. I don't know about this. I don't know. I always have like weird discussions about Darkseid skill build. What other heroes do I have? Lycan. So you do have a ward on Roche. Kind of. This is not a good ward on Roche, but I mean it's a ward on Roche. I guess you were preoccupied. I think you suffer from aimlessness a lot. Like it looks like you're walking around the map a lot as a Rubik, and I don't think that's very what do you call it? Productive. I don't know. Alright, so you got your Blink now. So as soon as you get a Blink and you also got a TP, very good, that's very good. Whenever you buy like an item like Blink, you should also get a TP with it or a smoke or something like that. Whenever you get a big item as a support, the next item you buy must be a ward. Like that's a very good rule just to have. The reason why is because gold is not all value. Like 100 gold on this hero is not the same as 100 gold from this hero, 100 gold on this hero, right? So as soon as you get a big item, right, you are as far as possible from your next item, yeah? Because you have 0 gold, you just got your big item. Because of that, gold is pretty much worthless to you. Like this 90 gold is not doing anything. So as soon as this, I would buy wards if it's in stock. So a ward is in stock, I would buy this ward. Just keep that in mind. I'm not trying to fault you too much, but like because you do have decent vision. Actually, you have incredible vision. What am I talking about? But yeah, when you're playing support and you have a big item, for example, Force Staff, Blink, Glimmer Cape, something like that, the next item you should buy is a ward, or a dust, or a smoke, or something like that. Like the next 200 gold, 100 gold, or whatever, because that item will pretty much change the game for your team if you get the right one at the right time and stuff like that. You don't need dust in this game, obviously, because like I guess Lycan Wolves, but they don't matter. Your positioning, you have to be very careful about your positioning. First thing is you don't want to show your Blink Dagger, but you've already shown it. The second thing is that you don't want to get initiated on. So at this point in the game, I'd be very scared of the enemy. For example, you have a blink, the Lion might also have a blink. In this case, he doesn't, but he might, kind of thing. Whoa, RP, oh my god. RP Lich ulti, holy shit. That's pretty baller. That's pretty baller. Alright, I mean, I was so impressed with the initiation, but let's look at the, how the Rubik died. Alright, so, the Lich ulti bouncing around the place. You shouldn't be running in here, you should be running this way, like this way. Yeah. I know you traded yourself for Lycan and stuff like that, and that seems very good, but you should actually be running towards your tier 3. Because as soon as you hit your tier 3, he's going to back up. And when he backs up, that lets you, your team catch him, because once he's here, he has to back up somewhere in these, like, directions. And your team is right here. Your team is right here, so, like, right here. So your team will catch him. Like, your priority should be to survive after you win a team fight. After you win the first part of a team fight. I know this is like a decent trade. Like, you guys got a good trade there, sorry, I mean. Because your supports died and you killed pretty much all of their core heroes except for Wind Ranger. It's kind of weird. They have like a quad core because, like, instead of having 3 strong cores, they're gonna have 4 weaker cores because they're 4 people who's farming kind of thing. Wind Ranger was mid. I think he might transition to support if he's smart, otherwise not. Let's see what's going on. So they're just going mech. That's a very simple, very easy build. Mech is very good against burst, I guess. Because it's very good against their team. Because firstly, mech gives you armor, which is very good against their team. Like win range, like 1, 2, 3 heroes are very strong, like auto attackers. So mech is very good because of the armor. The second thing is that the mech heal will cover basically a Stormbolt or a Power Shot or something like that. So that can be really game changing for you because your mech basically counters, like hard counters one of their spells. Very big deal. Lich is also a very strong pick this game because of Ice Armor. Ice Armor destroys like all of their heroes. Like, it's really good. So your next item on Rubik. So you have a few choices. Like you have Full Staff, Yule Scepter, Ghost Scepter, Glimmer Cape, Axe. In the terms of which one you should pick, I think in this game I would go Axe. Firstly, Axe gives you a lot of health, and with the armor you get from Lich, from mech as well as Ice Armor, you will be very, very tanky. You're already tanky to spells because of Null Field, so that's very good for you. I would get Ags here because it gives you a lot of health, and because Ags against this team is actually very strong. You can steal Surge, like you can steal Lion Stun into Surge, into Power Shot, into Stormbolt, which is very, very strong. And like any combination of these are very good. A note about Lycan is that when you spell steal Lycan, you always get something good. All of Lycan's spells are very good for you. Like, just keep that in mind. So I'm here, for example, Spirit Breaker, right? If you spell steal Spirit Breaker, you either get Charge or you get Nether Strike. Both of the spells are like ridiculous, right? So you should always spell steal a Spirit Breaker whenever you get the chance. The same deal with Lycan, but it's a little more subtle. Metamorphosis is actually the worst. Shapeshift is the worst one you can get, but Shapeshift is still like a pretty damn good spell. Like, it's a good escape. It makes you hit a little bit harder. Like, you don't hit very hard, but I mean, whatever. Good job placing the sentry before the ward, but this it's a good job placing the sentry before the ward for scouting, and if you sentry and kill their ward, you shouldn't place your ward here because they'll know. But if they... like, this ward is not useful here, is what I'm trying to say. You have this ward here, which scouts them. You don't need this ward here. So they use a smoke, and your team dodged them very, very well. Did they smoke late, or... I don't... Okay, your team definitely knows. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. What the Radiant team should do here is, instead of like smoking and doing nothing and walking around, as soon as like you realize that they know you smoke, you should just farm their jungle. They should take over your jungle here, like ward your entire jungle, but they didn't, so that's good for you. Let's see. Weaver's going Lincoln's first, I think, or Battlefield, but I don't like Lincoln's first on Weaver. You don't do enough. That hero doesn't do enough if you don't go Deso first. You have to play Glass Cannon and rely on your other 2 spells. After you get your Deso, then you start tanking up with your either Lincoln's or like your I've been experimenting with Heaven's Helmet, and it's actually really good. Heaven's Helmet Weaver is actually really good because of the evasion, and it gives you health, and you can use it on like the Sven, Lycan, or Wind Ranger, and it's very good for you. Good catch there. You have to be very careful now. You do have to be very scared of AOE. Oh, Darkseid's illusions are destroying them. This guy should be very, very careful. Yeah. Notice how Weaver doesn't do enough damage here. Like, if Weaver, oh, they didn't get the kill, good. But if Weaver had a Deso in this fight, I think the Spectre could have survived. I mean, the Spectre could have survived if Weaver did more damage, but Weaver doesn't do damage. He wasn't getting aimed at all. Like, the thing about Weaver is it's very positioning based, kind of like Sniper as well as, what was that here? Sniper and Drow? Yeah, Drow. Sniper, Drow, and Weaver are very positioning based. Weaver has the only spell that fixes your positioning, Sukuchi, but I think they all work the same way. Whereas if you're standing in the right place, the enemy won't go on you, and if they don't go on you, you'll win the fight, kind of thing. You won that fight because okay, this is actually really funny. Lich got a really good ulti. Lich got a really good ulti, and Darkseid's wall that was like here spawned an illusion that took the Chain Frost and brought it to the Wind Ranger, which killed him. That was like pretty hilariously funny, pretty hilarious. The Darkseid did have Vec there, right? I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't have taken that fight, but you did. I mean, Lich Chain Frost is insane if it hits everything. Magnus going drums, I don't like this. I don't think you should get drums on Magnus. Unless it's like your first item and you're playing like a support Magnus kind of thing, but that's not a thing. He should be getting a 4-staff to help position, or he should be going either 4-staff or Shivas and then getting a Shivas because of their team, right? And then after that you get a refresher. So you got Ghost Scepter, that's good. It's good against the team. Oh yeah, I was talking about Rubik item builds. Whoops. Ghost Scepter is very good against the team. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. Ghost Scepter is very good against the team. What's a better item here? I did say get Ags, didn't I? I think Ags is marginally better. I think you're more useful, right? Like Ghost Scepter makes it so you're like less likely to die. But Ags makes it so that you can actually do things, which is very important. Like, you know the centaurs that get like Vanguard and into pipe, like, oh, like Hood? That's a really terrible build because you don't do anything. You're very, very tanky and they won't kill you with Vanguard Hood, but you don't do anything. Like, they can ignore you entirely. So keep that in mind. You want to be useful. Did he miss the shackle? He wasn't able to kill? Oh, Wind Ranger went Sheep first. Holy shit. Sheep first is usually only good on like Quap, I think, is like the only hero I can think of. Sheep first is not very strong. If Wind Ranger went Ags or Ags into crit, he would be doing so much more damage and he would have killed the Weaver there. in the shackle shot. If he got the shackle. If he didn't get it, like, he would need a Shadow Blade if he really wanted to hit the shackle, like, 100% of the time. Now Weaver has a Lincoln, so that, like, nullifies, Wind Ranger's, initiation.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
This is actually a pretty good Weaver game. Like, Weaver's very strong when your team can cover for your survivability, and this team is very good at covering for his survivability, so, yeah. Spectre went, Vanguard Diffusal. Diffusal doesn't really purge anything. It purges Hex. It purges Surge. I think that's it. It doesn't purge Windrun. It doesn't purge Warcry. Wait, does it? I don't even know. It doesn't purge Lycan Ult, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. Diffusal's okay. Not the best. Alright, so... I'd say went... Guardian Graves. I don't think that's... I think that's a mistake. Guardian Graves is an item... Like, it's a good item on the heroes that buy Mech and Arcane Boots, like, after your other items. I might get Guardian Graves, like, either second or third in this game as a Darkseer. I would definitely get either Blink Dagger or Sheep before that. Maybe Shiva's. I think Shiva's. Fuck, I love that item, honestly. Shiva's such a good item. You gotta lift here on the Lycan. You have to be very careful. I don't think you should initiate unless you... Like, Rubik... I'm gonna talk about this for a bit. So when you initiate as a support, it has to be a stomp fight. Like it has to be like you just caught someone. That's when you initiate with your support. Otherwise, you need your initiator to initiate. Like for example, Magnus. Yeah. So that's why. So usually in general, the offlane will pick some sort of initiation hero. Yeah. That's your Clockwork. That's your Magnus. That's your Axe. Like stuff like that, right? Oh, I would be very careful. Yeah. Nice cliff there. This guy should skewer. Oh, he doesn't have skewer. I would actually RP that if I was the Magnus. Okay. Oh, Chainfrost's gonna do a ton here again. Oh, bad bounces. Oh well. That's a bad skew. Oh no. Yeah. Oh, he did kill him, that's good. I expected him to not kill the Darkseer if the guy surged straight away. This fight was lost. Okay, so I'll talk about why this fight was lost, I guess. So if you look at the positioning, so you were here and you used Ghost Scepter straight away. You got shaped obviously because you were in there. Firstly, you shouldn't have been in the pit by yourself. But oh well, right? So your Rubik got picked off straight away. Then Sven got a two-man stun. The RP was hit, but then they got vacuumed, so you couldn't make use of the RP. Then after this, the Lich ulti bounced over here, and it didn't kill the Darkseer off. And the Magnus skewed back in. This is a very bad skewer. And then your Spectre will die also, because the guy is going for a kill on the Darkseer. So, that fight started with Rubik getting picked off, and when someone gets picked off, it's a bad idea to fight. Unless you can instantly blow someone up. When I say instant, I mean instantly, like within 2 seconds. Blow someone up. If you can't do that, then you don't want to fight as soon as someone gets picked off on your team. Weaver's going damage now. That's 100% you should be getting damage. I think Deso is better. Deso is very good on Weaver because it synergizes with your bugs, which remove armor from people. The other thing is that you hit twice, yeah? So each, each armor reduction is, more value because you attack twice every now and then. In general on Weaver, I think you should actually get stats instead of the second, third. Maybe you get the second point in Gemini. No, you don't get. You only get 1 point in Gemini. The reason why is because each that one extra attack every 1 second on Gemini for each level early on does almost nothing compared to stats, which makes you live longer and gives you more mana, so you can do more with your spells and auto attack for longer, right? Gemini attack doesn't do much at early levels. With the bugs, I think it was Slasher, who's a very strong Dota player, talked about how at Swarm at every level, it takes the same amount of attacks to kill. No matter what, the enemy has to attack it X amount of times to kill it, right? So if you use a swarm on someone, they're gonna try to kill the bug. So no matter what, then your swarm won't do anything except stop them. It'll make them attack it, and you can see them and stuff. So in that case, you only need 1 level in swarm, right? Or maybe 2 levels in swarm, because that doesn't the rest of them don't do anything because they're gonna attack them. They're gonna kill your bugs anyway, kind of thing. That's just a small note about that here. They smoke into this? I think you guys could have contested. I don't like this lift before the surge. This makes it way too easy for him to get away if he needs to, or initiate to. This guy's not a finger. Oh, he doesn't have mana to finger. Yeah, that was a bad Ghost Scepter. I think Ghost Scepter there makes you take more damage from Iron Shell, correct? Yes. I think it was just panicking. It was bad positioning in the first place. Whenever you deward, if you're dewarding and it's not somewhere there, in here, you need someone to come with you. Doesn't come with you, someone farm here or something like that. Or farm here while you're doing it. That was really game losing for you guys. And now because they have Lycan, they push super fast. Way too fast, right? Let's see what spells you have. Oh, so RP was used. Holy crap. Yeah, this is Rax for them if they position well. They just have to be careful not to get hit by AoE. And they get hit by AoE, okay. So, yeah. I was waiting for the score. That fight was, this rack should have been free, and the Radiant should have been able to get out. But they grouped up way too much. When you're pushing high ground, you don't want to confine yourself to this, choke point. Because this makes it super easy for the Dire team to hit you with spells. I mean, well done on capitalizing, but I mean, it's more the Radiant mistake than it is like the Dire playing well kind of thing. I think this is fine. Yes, you can't purge wind run. I mean, that's a good trade, trading the Rubik for the Wind Ranger, but it's kind of weird to blink all the way up here as a support by yourself into someone with shape and shackle shots. So keep that in mind, but I think whatever. Like, you dying there got your team the kill. I mean, even better is if you blink lift and then you don't die somehow. Like maybe you steal wind run or something like that. I don't know. Alright, so good team fight. You guys get a return tower, very good. They did get the Rax mid though, so that's unfortunate. Oh wait, they got that Rax spot. How the frick did they get the Rax spot? No, let me rewind. Wow, I've not been paying attention. How'd they get the Rax spot? When did they get the Rax spot? What? When did they... what was I watching? Holy shit. Oh, that's embarrassing. Okay. Okay, so your Magnus died. Oh, right, you died here, and I was talking about the team fight instead of watching what happened next. So yeah, I was talking about that team fight where Magnus skewered back in and Spectre and Magnus died. So that gave them the bot Rex. I see. Alright, so fast forward that, and they take that. And then I was up to like here. Yep. So this is your... Yeah, this is your death into that. You get the return tower. So now they have 2 racks. Okay, 2 racks is very, very, very hard to recover from. You need very specific heroes to defend against 2 racks. Otherwise, it'll be incredibly hard. And sometimes you can't even do it. In general, like, this is assuming that the enemy plays perfectly. But if they don't play perfectly, then you can obviously, like, deal with it. Weaver's doing very good here. What you do when your Rex is getting hit by big creeps is instead of like killing these creeps and walking away, you kill the next 2 waves, yeah? So he needs to kill these, like he killed this wave and then he killed this wave. That's enough to stall it for like a minute, yeah? So you have to be careful of that. Because now these creeps have to fight all the way up to your racks. And then as soon as it gets back up here, then you need to do it again, kind of thing. Lycan is ratting here. Taking advantage of you guys killing Wind Ranger with Spectre. Okay, I'll slow it down now. You guys should be initiating here. I'm not sure why no one's initiating. Your Spectre is supposed to haunt, like, afterwards. I thought you would get the Blink RP onto the, Sven before BKB and then blow him up, but I guess not. Like, when you're going to teamfights, you should have an idea of what you're trying to do, yeah? So, the enemy team... If you kill the if you kill the Sven and the Lycan, they actually have no damage. Like, Wind Ranger has Sheep and Blessed Orb. Like, this doesn't give you damage. Like, obviously it does, it gives you some damage, but it doesn't give you as much as, for example, Deso or, like, Shadowblade or Ags or, you know, like, MKB, stuff like that, right? So if you kill the Lycan and the Sven, you've won the fight, like, straight away, okay? So that should be your focus, yeah? And when they're running up your thing, without I think it was Lion was dead? When Lion was dead and they were running up your racks, like all the way over here, this should be full health. Like when it was full health, your Magnus should have got the RP on this vent, because this guy doesn't have BKB. This guy does have BKB, right? What the fuck does he have Cleaver for? Alright, whatever. So this guy has BKB, right? So if you get the RP on him and everyone uses your spells on the Sven, you kill the Sven, and your Spectre's Radiance will take down the Lycan's DPS with the mischance, as well as the fact that Lycan has to like run up to people, which is very hard against your team. Like your team is extremely mobile. So you kill the Sven straight away and you win the fight off that. He does have heart, right? So that's very, very tough. But when his positioning is this bad, you're gonna kill him. For example, you guys did kill him, but you killed him a bit later because you guys didn't initiate correctly. And he also got his BKB off. He should not have gotten BKB off in that fight. Like, if I play Magnus, one of my goals is to make sure that my enemies do not get BKBs off. They do not get their spells off. Like, I RP, one-shot their support. Their carries are like half health, something like that, and my team cleans up. That's how I expect Magnus to play. I don't get this build. Lycan probably could have won this game with a better... I don't know who wins this, by the way. But, Lycan would definitely win. I expect the Radiant to win, but Lycan definitely could have won this game a lot better if he had a better item build. This is hilarious. Like, Lycan can't fight your Spectre. And now he's, well, this is scary as fuck. Oh, here you go. Oh my god, there you go, that's a good RP. That's your counter initiation. So I'll talk about counter initiation for a bit. So when teams fight, when a team fight starts, people usually completely forget about their positioning, okay? To get to like 5k or whatever, the way to do that is just to watch your position. Like that's one thing that if you fix would raise your MMR, yeah? So as soon as a fight starts, continue watching your position, yeah? People are very good at watching their position before the team fight, yeah? Everyone, like, let's say the enemy team is defending, like they're all dead, but let's say the enemy team is defending here, your whole team is like over here, their whole team is like scattered over here, right? Everyone's positioning is perfect. As soon as someone gets stunned though, if like Magnus walks up here and gets lion stunned, everyone just dives in, and it's the worst thing ever because that lets you get those really big RPs, yeah? Like the Radiant team was fighting here and they were winning the fight, right? And then they were winning the fight and then they run up this hill chasing the Weaver and the Rubik that they got double stunned by Lion here, and then Magnus comes in, 4-man RP, 5-man RP, and then Lich ultis, and that's like, yeah, that's just fight over. Hold on. Because that combo is insane. Like, alright, so you got Deso. Why would you get crit and then Deso? That's a mistake. Deso does more damage, you should get Deso first. Because if you do more damage, you're gonna farm faster kind of thing, yeah? So you should. Yeah. Which is also why you don't get Linken's Vest, because Linken's slows down your farm a lot. Like, you don't farm very fast. It was okay this fight, because Linken's is good in fights, and you guys were fighting a lot, so that's, like, better, I guess. Spectre is fun. Good butterfly choice. Very good against that team. With the Vanguard, this makes him very tanky. If Spectre gets a heart now, he will be pretty much indestructible. Oh no, Skadi. Skadi's better here. Oh, in terms of Skadi vs Heart, Heart is better if they have like lots of like nuke damage. Skadi is good if they have more physical damage, kind of thing. The reason why is because Skadi through BKB will. Oh my god, it happened again. Holy shit, it happened again, and no one picked up Aegis. Very good job picking up Aegis as soon as that, like, you realize that it's still there. Obviously you should do it as soon as possible, but, I mean, whatever. Spectre should just kill this guy, right? Like, just hit him. Yeah, okay, good. Alright, yeah, oh, so you guys do win this? That's pretty impressive. I mean, you won it off the huge team fights. Like, the enemy's positioning is actually awful. Like, I think if you expect your enemy to have this bad positioning, you can literally just pick teamfight heroes like Magnus, Tidehunter, Enigma, Lich. Like, just like huge AoE ultis, and then literally win every game because the enemy has bad positioning. Yeah? Laning phase doesn't matter at all. Like, you guys lost laning phase so hard.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, well done, well done. That's a huge comeback. So your team fight was very good. I don't think it's very deserved, but I mean, because it was the enemy team playing bad more than this team playing good. But I mean, that's just in general. Glimmer Cave next. I would get a Yule Scepter instead to dodge their spells. Also, Yule's is another like initiation stun, so you can blink in and Yule someone and lift someone. So that's like 2 stuns. Oh my god, Darkseid is just killing this Lycan here. And he's gonna die to Radiance soon. Alright, yeah, so your Spectre got to late game with a very large amount of items. Very good. Spectre's item build didn't let him farm very fast, but the team fights allowed this team to do well. Same with Weaver. Weaver shouldn't have been able to get more items. I mean, Weaver actually has like no items, but whatever. I don't know, kind of. Like, he has so much gold, I didn't realize that. Oh, good Glimmer Cape. Yules would have done exactly the same thing there. Plus, Yules gives you, what do you call it? Oh, actually, Glimmer Cape you can use on your allies, so you can use it on the guy that gets shackled. That's not too bad, actually. So Glimmer Cape is very good. Like, you can never say Glimmer Cape is a bad item, it's just some items are sometimes better. Alright, so very good. I didn't expect this. This is because you got so much value out of your spells. Like, Lich ulti does like 4,000 damage or something.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Like, Lich ulti actually does like 4,000 damage level 1 if it, like, if every bounce hits or something. Oh, okay, so 2,800 level 1, and 4,600
Radiant's middle
level
tower
4,
has fallen.
level 3. Sorry. So yeah, that's and he's got Scepter, right? So he does even more damage. You want this out of your Lich and your Magnus, pretty much. Spectre and Weaver
Dire victory.
got farm because of the Lich and Magnus. Like, you won 3 team fights in a row at the end. I'm not sure what to say. Like, good job. Like, I don't know. I mean, okay then. I just realized your names though. That's really funny. Alright, cool. So that's your Rubik replay. I will pause it there and just talk about it just a little bit more. Alright, so when you went to pick Rubik, you pick Rubik against spells that are very strong to steal. For example, Fissure from Earthshaker, Ice Path from Jakiro, Enigma Black Hole, Titan to Ravage, Magnus RP, Axe Call, all of these spells, all of these heroes, Rubik is very good against. You also Rubik is also an incredibly strong counter initiator. For example, against Shackle Shot, against Chrono, against I don't know, like all those spells, yeah. Like all of like those big initiation kind of spells. Rubik is very strong against, like Stormbolt, stuff like that. Why am I so tired? When to pick Rubik, yeah. Rubik is also very strong because of Null Field. Null Field nullifies a lot of magical damage. For example, against Leshrac, Rubik is very strong. Against Leshrac, Glimmer Cape first, obviously, very strong item. Against this team, Ghost Scepter was good. I think you should have gotten Ags at this game, but I mean, you won, so whatever, right? Very good. You have a decent amount of farm. You play some pretty strong wards. I can't really say too much about that. It looks like a generally good game. I think in the start of the game, when you identified your matchup though, when you realize the enemy is playing a Clockwork or a, what do you call it, Darkseer offlane, you need to buy an extra set of tangos instead of the boots and get like, I don't know, branches for your magic stick, like whatever, right? Or just save money for your boots, like save like 200 gold, get 2 branches and for a magic stick, right? And get. You should actually buy one of the wards. Don't make Lich buy everything. That's really bad. Like Lich needs some gold for boots and stuff like that. You'll win more games that way. Yeah, you want to get the extra tango so that the Spectre doesn't just die to freaking Iron Shell. Like that Spectre must have hated life for so long at the early game. And if Spectre had the extra tangos, he could have got more last hits because, like, basically you buying tangos gives Spectre the early game kind of thing. Instead, you give the Darkseer a lot. The Darkseer didn't make anything out of his farm. Like, he's 0-10, which is really weak. Like, I have no idea how this guy ended up 0-10 with the start he had. Like, this Darkseer pretty much had the dream start. Like, if there was a pro player... I mean, if it's a pro player, it would destroy any of these games. But if there was a pro player with that Darkseer start, I'm pretty sure he would win the game by himself. Like, if it was, like, Zai or Ice or something like that. Anyway, so that is the end of, Rubik's. The Rubik replay.